Hey everybody, Chris here. Are we seeing the start of a Dogecoin extended cycle? I'm going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. We talk a lot on live streams about the 4-year cycle, typical cycles we've seen in crypto since 2012. Of course, Dogecoin was invented in 2013, but it has seen peaks in those 4 years from the end of 2013, 2017, 2021, and here we are in 2025 and we're still waiting. What is going on and what's going on with Bitcoin? We're going to look at both the long-term and the short-term outlooks. Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart, and we are just over 25 cents. That is this blue line here. We've been exploring this concept of penny by penny by penny, even when it goes down. And we did have the drop yesterday down to about 24.2. And during the live stream, I was saying, look, it looks like we're going to go up to 25.4 because of the big leverage we saw on the heat map to take out those shorts. And it came all the way up to 25.35. So it didn't quite get 25.4, but it took out quite a bit of those shorts here late last night. And now we bounce around again. But don't get disillusioned because look, and as we've shown this many, many times, you zoom out and you start looking at the bigger picture and we still are in an overall uptrend. It is still an overall uptrend. And yeah, I know we came all the way up to 30 cents and then came back down, but that's how Dogecoin trades, right? That's what I keep saying. Dogecoin is more volatile than just about every other crypto in the way that it trades. So it is still an overall uptrend. And of course, we look at the returns, both the quarterly returns up 41% in Q3 and so far 7.5% in Q4. And on the monthly, 4 green months in a row, October is still up 7.5% on the month. And we're only 10 days into October. And people are all disillusioned about Doge. I get it, yeah. Get excited, 30 cents, and we think it's going to go higher. But yet, we're down here at 25. And so people are all depressed, but the overall trend is still up. Same with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin did, have this big run back here to 125, 124.5, right? And that was the August new all-time high. But look what Bitcoin did, right? It starts falling all the way back down. People start talking about, oh, the bull cycle's over. Starts to come back up and then has the big drop that we saw in late September down to the beginning of October, as Chris predicted. But then we climb up and hit a new all-time high. So even Bitcoin has some volatility. Of course, Dogecoin is at a higher percentage of that. But Bitcoin is still $121,500. I mean, $121,500 for one Bitcoin. So what's happening with this extended cycle thing, though? And why do people talk about this extended cycle? And where are these prices in crypto going to be going? We start with Merlin. Correlation between gold and Bitcoin. A lot of talk about gold. Gold hitting $4,000. We also saw silver over $50, new all-time highs. Money in these commodities, right? In this metals. What's going to happen? Well, if there indeed is a correlation and there's like this 80-day delay between the gold and Bitcoin, is Bitcoin going to follow this trail following what gold did? Is this correlation, this 80-day offset thing, is that a real thing? We'll be watching that November into December. So that's still 2025, though. What about a bigger picture? What could that be? TechDev is like, look, there's actually never been a 4-year Bitcoin cycle. We've never had an all-time high before the halving until this year. Always been the business cycle. And this is what Raul Paul has been talking about. Arthur Hayes is now talking about this. And that previously, that business cycle was every 4-ish years. But what's going to happen this year? And where are we now? Could we be actually at a bottom right now and not a top because the business cycle is bottoming? 2025, the business cycle is bottoming. It kind of just came down through the whole Biden presidency, 4 years. The business cycle went down. But then why is Bitcoin then churning upwards? Interesting. Well, the Bitcoin churning upwards slow and steady over the past 3 years, I think is behind the institutional buying, the rotation. We saw gold do the same thing, right? Gold just kept churning up and up and up. Bitcoin doing the same thing. Very interesting. And with that, we have crypto growing as well, but not on a huge percentage gain, slow and steady gain following Bitcoin. I mean, 2 years ago, you could have bought Doge at 6 cents, right? Now it's 25 cents. That's a 4x. Those are pretty good returns. You look at it, 4x, and you're like, oh, I want 10x. Well, that's the unreality, right? That's when you start like, come on, let's come down to reality here. It's a 4x return in 2 years. And this business cycle, as I said, because of what was going on in the economies over the past few years, it's slowly starting to turn around. And this is where people are saying, look, this is going to go into 2026. And we're going to start to see this business cycle acceleration. And that is when we're going to see Bitcoin take off. This is where those models are coming from, saying $1 million Bitcoin. We could see that in 2026, where many are calling for a bear cycle like I have been just following these 4 years. But this chart is very interesting on the business cycle side. But then we have some like Ali that says, well, no. We've actually already topped out on Bitcoin. And the worst case scenario is we get rejected at 124 and then Bitcoin dives to 96 and then down to 70 or 69K, 2026 bear market. This is what I've been calling for. Ali is actually same with Chris here, except I still think we're going higher first. I think we're going 130, 140, 150, and then we're going to have that pullback in 2026. So this is following the 4-year cycles. This is what we would expect to see. But this business cycle thing is interesting. When we look at Doge, what about Doge? So Doge has been on these 4-year cycles, right? To 2017, blow off top, and then kind of this rounded bottom into 2021, blow off top. This rounded bottom now is getting extended from May of 2021 now into October of 2025, and we really haven't had the big blow off top yet. Yeah, last November was nice, but the bigger one could be coming. As well as if we look at the Russell 2000, right? Everyone's talking about Russell. It's like the Russell 2000 has hit a new all-time high now, right? Alts versus others has not exploded yet. We haven't seen the top yet. We haven't gone past 2021 yet. And Doge hasn't gone past 2021 yet. It has been a slower, longer, extended 4-year cycle. So this theory about this extending out into 2026 is kind of interesting. If we look at Trader Allen, he's like, look, Dogecoin's real surge is yet to ignite. Looking on a weekly time frame, and we look back at 2024 in the big run up that Doge had, compared back to early 2024 when Doge ran up to 22 cents and then fell back up to 48 cents and fell back. This little move up to 30 cents could have been a start of a bigger move, but again, it's getting extended out. Another one that's just getting extended out before the big run up. This is what the big run up could look like. A typical kind of broadening wedge pattern we're seeing on Doge. And like I said, right, Doge trades up and down and up and down. Well, here it is shown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are we getting ready for that move, the number 7? which is breaking the upward trend line and then exploding in price. Is it too late to buy Dogecoin? Right? Is it too late to buy? We hear that a lot on the in the live streams. But look, it's been since midsummer in June, right? It's been higher lows, right? And we're following that. Not only in the RSI, but also in the price. Higher lows, higher highs. The next move will be coming up over the wedge, come back, retest, and move higher. That would be the classic move. When we zoom out and we look back to that 48-cent price at the beginning of December 2024, we hook that up with, that little January spike we had. We connect those, extend it out. What did we do? Well, we broke out in September above that extended line, came back, retested, ready to move higher now. Classic move. And then we look at Dogecoin versus Bitcoin, and we know that Doge versus Bitcoin goes on these big runs. 2021, right? We had this in 2022. That's when Elon bought Twitter, remember that? That big explosion. And then in November, we had the same thing last November. Bitcoin went up 200%, but Doge went up like 350%. So Doge outperforming Bitcoin. So this is what the potential is of Doge versus Bitcoin. Doge outperforming Bitcoin. Now it has been, right, since the summer, as I called, right? Doge has been churning up against Bitcoin, but it's ready for that next big move. Doge Tipping says, look, you will laugh at Doge, but then you will use it. Then you'll love it. Then you'll forget there was ever another option. Enable Doge, set the internet free. Dogecoin, this is like the big thing, right? It's like, and we're waiting for Doge OS and such pay. What's the House of Doge? The Dogecoin Foundation, all of this stuff they're working on. It takes a long time to get this all set up. But Dogecoin as a platform to be able to do decentralized trading and games and all of that, that is all being built now. That is all coming. So we will be watching all of that. Meanwhile, we get caught up in the current price, right? Current price action just over 25 cents. People get disillusioned, but the bigger picture is still out there. I'm still very bullish on Dogecoin. How about you? Let me know in the comments below. Are you bullish on Doge? And we're going to have to just watch this together and what happens into November, December 2025, and then what's going to happen in 2026? Is this business cycle narrative thing going to become more of a thing? We're hearing more and more people talking about this, where it's turning that whole 4-year cycle on its head and extending out. Interesting concept. We'll be talking about that more as well in the live stream, so join in. Again, leave a comment below. Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.